working for you. This is Wave 3 News Sunrise.
Now on Sunrise, one person is dead after a motorcycle and vehicle collide in the Highlands. 4 young people booked into jail after a 16-year-old dies from drugs. The arrest months after the girl's death. And a drug bust in Clarksville. Neighbors tip off police, and now 4 people are locked up. Sunrise starts right now. First, new on Sunrise, one person killed overnight after a motorcycle collides with an SUV in the Highlands. It happened just before 1:30 this morning at the intersection of Bardstown Road and Strathmore Boulevard. Witnesses tell police the motorcycle was speeding and slammed into a Jeep Cherokee that pulled out onto Bardstown Road. A female passenger riding in the back seat, the motorcycle was pronounced dead at the scene.
The motorcyclist was going at a high rate of speed, according to witnesses, but by the same token, the motorcyclist also had the right-of-way, so the Jeep Cherokee should have yielded to the motorcyclist.
Both riders were wearing helmets. Police are investigating whether alcohol played a factor in the crash. And a good morning to you. I'm Scott Adkins. Serena Williams may earn an Olympic gold to match the one Venus won in 2000 as tennis begins this second Saturday of the Olympics. And here at home, we welcome more than 11,000 classic cars for the 43rd Street Rod National. Will there be clear skies as they cruise the metro? I don't know. There's a little red on the radar. Brian, what are we looking at?
Yeah, I got some downpours, certainly. Nothing here in the city itself. Everything seems to be in our outlying areas. The good news about this, some folks getting some really needed rainfall. You know,
yeah, we need
some. We need to catch up on this, certainly. But it is pretty noisy out there. Lots of lightning, about 1,000 lightning strikes in just about a 30-minute period out of this one particular storm, moving out of Greene County, heading toward Marion County. So those of you in Lebanon right now are about to get a woke-up call here this morning, which is fine. You can just turn the TV on and watch us. Springfield, you're next in line to also pick up some of these hefty showers and thunderstorms. These are not severe, but lightning is probably the main threat here, along with a quick heavy downpour as it moves off to the north and east. Now, these red strikes just mean where there are older lightning strikes have now begun to fade off the system. The ones in white are the most recent. So the most concentrated lightning strike now just in north and east there of the Campbellsville area. And we've seen a few spotty downpours as well across portions of Shelby County, but as I mentioned here in Louisville. So far, so good. Rain amounts generally less than a half of an inch out of this little batch of storms across Greene, Taylor, heading toward portions of Marion County here in the next little bit. We'll see more of these throughout the day today as the radar should remain lit up across Kentucky. And we'll top out today, though, in the lower 90s. Tomorrow could be a different story when it comes to storm intensity. I'll explain more about that in a few minutes. Scott.
Alrighty, at 6:03, and 4 people are behind bars charged in connection with the death of an Oldham County teen. Investigators believe the February death of 16-year-old Summer Williams was caused by a combination of dangerous drugs. Wave 3's Connie Leonard continues our coverage.
Her name kind of sums it up. It was always like a summer's day.
Vance Dunaway says his daughter's good friend, 16-year-old Summer Lee Williams, was a bright, friendly, funny kid who always seemed happy.
That was the whole biggest shock of it all, was just to go from almost one extreme to another.
Summer died in February inside Dunaway's LaGrange home on Monroe Street. He says Summer and his daughter had been at the mall. He left the house and his daughter told him Summer left to see a boy. When Dunaway returned home, he checked on the girls who were asleep. He says he even remembered hearing Summer snoring because he was going to tease her about it the next day. Instead, the next day was horrific. It began with his daughter screaming.
Came straight out to the kitchen and was hysterical, told me. I went in and confirmed and called 911.
The medical examiner's office has now determined Summer died from acute intoxication due to combined drugs, including Opana. Police issued warrants and arrested 4 adults they believe were involved in giving Summer the drugs. 27-year-old Philip Kinzer is charged with unlawful transaction with a minor and trafficking in a controlled substance. 21-year-old Tiffany Mull, 34-year-old Tiffany Richardson, and 18-year-old Roger Wilson are charged with unlawful transaction with a minor.
It's difficult in all cases, especially a young person that probably is doing these drugs that have absolutely no idea what they could do to her.
Dunaway says more than 5 months later, his daughter still has trouble sleeping, and he's glad the 4 were arrested.
An adult and just with kids, I mean, what the heck?
Connie Leonard, Wave 3 News.
And LaGrange police tells Kinzer, Dole, and Richardson are being held at the Oldham County Jail, each on $10,000 bond. Rogers was released after posting a $2,500 bond. We now know the name of one of the women killed after she was shot Friday morning near downtown Louisville. 25-year-old Tila Harvey was one of the 2 people shot and killed in South Jackson. 24-year-old Ricardo Taylor faces kidnapping and murder charges. Now, police aren't sure why Taylor forced 3 people into the upstairs apartment. SWAT teams used tear gas to drive him out of the apartment complex.
To get my family away from the window and then come back and make sure everything was cool, you know.
I got the call at 6:30 this morning. That's when her son called me and told me it may have been her, so I just rushed her as fast as I could. It was her.
Well, the name of the other victim has not been released. We're coming up on 6:07 this morning. Metro Police and SWAT teams had a run-in with Ricardo Taylor in the past. In fact, he was 18 when police say he fired shots at officers in 2006 and then barricaded himself in a Shepherd Square apartment. Taylor was shot in the stomach as he left the apartment, pointing his gun at police after a 2-hour standoff. Then in 2006. Well, Molly Schaus took the stand Friday to describe what happened when her son Kenton died in her hot car in May 2011. Schaus faces a murder charge, and she admits she took Xanax pills and smoked marijuana the day her 2-year-old died in front of her apartment in Linden.
Did you ever get to see your baby again?
No.
Did you get to go to the funeral?
No.
Are you sorry for what happened?
I'm so
Schaus admits she lied to police about what she did in the hours before Kenton died. She left the keys in her front door and says she planned to go right back out to the car, but sat down on the couch. Hours later, she awoke when her mother came in the front door.
You knew the risks of leaving a child alone in a car, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yes. You said in your statement you knew it got at least 30 degrees hotter in a car than outside, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, Schaus faces life in prison if convicted. Her attorneys argue it was a tragic accident. Closing arguments are expected Tuesday. It's 6:08. 4 people are behind bars arrested in connection with a drug bust in Clarksville Friday afternoon. Way 3's David Williams got the tip and has the exclusive story.
One of these suspects crashed their car into a police car as they tried to get away from police, but it's what was found inside that suspect's vehicle that is unusual for police. A snapshot of a drug bust, stemming from complaints from neighbors and tips of suspected drug activity going on along Dartmouth Drive at the River Chase Apartments.
We set up surveillance about 10:40 this morning. Watched the house, seen a lot of people in and out.
After 2 hours, officers noticed a vehicle driven by William Lovejoy leave.
When they went to try to stop him, he tried to evade them.
Later this afternoon, police say Lovejoy cut through the parking lot of this recreational sports dealer, then ran into a police car at Cop Lane and Little League Boulevard, causing about $3,000 in damage. Inside Lovejoy's car, about 80 grams of cocaine worth about $12,000.
The amount for one person to have on him for our area is quite a bit. It's unusual for us. Cocaine, heroin, it's all a big problem.
Police got a search warrant and went back to the apartment. Kenny Howe was outside working on a car when he saw police.
Next thing you know, they come up the stairs, guns drawn.
Inside an apartment, police found Gregory Dry, James Young, and Laura Ann Leeper, along with drug paraphernalia. All three were arrested. Howell lives in the building, though he's unfamiliar with them.
I wish it was a shock or a surprise, but you know, this is the River Chase Apartments, so it's not really a big surprise.
Since January, Clarksville's PD's made around 127 drug-related arrests.
We are really trying to crack down on this, and we're out there and we're watching it.
It's good. I feel more safe about my things.
All four are facing numerous drug charges. Lovejoy is also expected to be charged with resisting law enforcement with a vehicle. More charges could be pending, and the investigation continues. Working for you in Clarksville, David Williams, Wave 3 Sunrise.
NASA engineers are seeing red. Why this trip to Mars may be the agency's most critical mission since the moon landing. Coming up on Sunrise.
Cool stuff there. Hey, we're taking a look at the latest on the timing on these storms later today and Sunday. We'll have that latest thinking coming up for you guys right after the break.